What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Bianconeri zone. Welcome back to another daily news update. And this time we're going to talk about a big risk. Juve is basically willing to take with Koopmeiners or not so much. However, I think it is a big risk. The story is, or the story, like it starts with Koopmeiners being injured, basically injured. He has something on his ribs. It's not really specified, like medical terms it's specified, which is, well, I cannot understand that. However, I think, is it that he actually has pain, like general pain in terms of like, that's it, like just standard, he feels pain? Or is it when somebody not like when he goes into a challenge or something like that? Is it that does he struggle to breathe? We don't know that. It's just it's ribs. However, the reports were he's gonna miss. He's gonna miss Lazio. He's gonna miss Stuttgart. He's gonna miss Inter. And then now the news is that they are they're willing, or they're gonna try on Monday to put him on an harness, basically, and they're gonna test that in training to see if that works and if he can play games like that, even Lazio on Sunday. Now, why is that a big risk for me? And why it potentially could not be a big risk because of that hardness. That's what we're going to talk about. However, it is a massive decision for the club, and we will talk about that as well. Before we do that, as always, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification, and let's talk about this potentially risky decision. Okay, as always, you can look at things in multiple ways. You can look at it in terms of, if it tests go well on Monday and he puts on that harness and he does the training and he's like perfect and the doctors are like perfect, then it's good, I guess. My issue is that Koopmeiners will want to be here. Even if he feels pain with that harness, I believe he will be like, I'm fine. And that's for me the risk, where it potentially, like, it can feel fine in training, but when it's high intensity in the game, my fear is, and the risk is, you're gonna make it worse. Now, if you are willing to do this, if you're willing to go to these lengths, in terms of lengths, like put him on a harness so he can play games, that kind of tells you how important he is to the club right now. And you can come in the comments and I would see the point of you saying, actually he hasn't been a standout player, or as we expected. And I would agree more so with the other one, because the goals and the assists are missing right now. That final Paul, he had some bad luck here and there, but some of the decisions in the final third, he needs to do better, because he can do better, period. So that's that. However, if the club is willing to go to that length, to that, extent of taking measures to make sure he doesn't miss these big three games coming up with Lazio, Stuttgart, and Inter, because that was what the news was, and then he will be back afterwards. I think it's Parma, I think it is. That tells you just how much the club is like, okay, or Mota or whatever, and even he's like, I want to be here, and the club is like, okay, we need you. And that's the risky part for me, is that the Koopmeiners thing is, like, he wants to play. He always wants to play. Every player always wants to play, and he will do anything to make sure they can play. If this was a Champions League final prep, I was like, yeah, 100%. It's worth the quote unquote risk. It's worth it. Right now, my fear is, okay, you're gonna miss him for 3 games, and it is a big blow for us. But if you take the risk and he's gonna miss more than those 3 games, how much of a blow is that for us as well? Like, how much worse are you going to make that for the remainder of these 7 game stretch? Is he going to miss more of these games? So it is a risky thing to do, in my opinion. But I also understand the point where, okay, we need Koopmeiners, period. I know you can say he's not this, he's not that. Fine. But right now, in this squad, we cannot trust Douglas Luiz right now. It is what it is. Fagioli is picking it up right now. Locatelli has been benched for 2 games. McCanny's been playing. The only consistent player in terms of, like, you're playing is Koopmeiners. That's my point. That's how Mota is in this situation, where it's like Mota changes a lot. He benches a lot of players. He rotates, but he doesn't rotate a few of them. He doesn't rotate Bremer, who's injured now. He doesn't rotate Koopmeiners. He doesn't rotate Vlahovic because he has no other option right now. But these are players I think he's looking at. It's like, okay, you guys are key for me. Like, I cannot do without you right now. And that's why they're willing to take that risk. But is it a good decision? Who knows? I understand that if you have a player who's very important to you, like Koopmeiners is for Mota right now, I can see the urge of saying, okay, we play Lazio, we play Stuttgart, we play Inter. If there is a possibility to get you back in quote unquote shape, then we need to do that. Now the other part of the story is, how much can he give? If he, like, even if you put on a harness, it's gonna hold you back a little bit. It's probably gonna be uncomfortable. But like I said, in training is different. You're not gonna go into training and tell the players, put some knocks on me, hit me, be hard on me so I can feel if I can play. It's not really gonna be that. So he can start a game and it can go well for the first 20 minutes, and then it can completely go to shit basically, because the collisions are not that in training. So you are taking a risk, but it's very telling. It's very telling that they're willing to go to that extent, because if you go from potentially 3 games out to, we put you on a harness and you can play and forget about the 3 days, for me, and then again, you need to think about, is that sort of 3 games missing really correct? But everybody was kind of reporting that. Then you also need to think about, man, if you go from 3 games to nothing basically just because of the harness, how realistic is that as well? Like, how much can he actually give? Is he going to play at 100%? No, impossible. And in these games, I'd rather have a player who is 100%, and maybe not up to the quality as Koopmeiners, but I know it's 100%. I know he's going to go that full 100, not because he doesn't want Koopmeiners, but just because his body doesn't allow in these type of games. And these type of games are tough, and I think you need players who can give 100%, So I would see it out, in my opinion. Now, I'm not a doctor. I don't know how much pain he feels, but we just need to go off reports. And off reports, well, it didn't look good. He got stopped at halftime because apparently he struggled to actually breathe, or like he couldn't really move the way he should be moving. And I'm like, okay, if these reports are true and these things are coming out, it is risky for the injury, but also for the performance. Is it going to take away for us in general, and the opponents give that advantage because you're losing something, because you have a player out there who was maybe a bit scared to go 100% just purely to protect himself. So let's see what happens on Monday and throughout the week. But let me know in the comments, will you take that quote-unquote risk, considering all the reports that are out there? Or are you like, it's worth to take the risk because we have these 3 big games coming up? So let me know, like the video, subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Ciao.